This is a lecture from Open Tuition. To benefit from the lecture, you should download the free lecture notes from opentuition.com.
The tax point is very important indeed, because this determines when VAT is actually going to become due to be recorded, because VAT is done in quarters. And obviously, if the tax point date is around about the end of a quarter or the beginning of the next quarter, then it's important that we determine which quarter that it fits in. Okay, very important to correctly identify the time of supply or tax point, that's the same thing, as this determines when the output is due. Now, these are the rules. The basic tax point is the date the goods are made available to the customer or the services are completed, which is normally when this would take place. Okay, so that's the basic. However, then we have two buts. But if an invoice is issued or payment is received before, this becomes what's known as the actual tax point. If there has been payment, deposits, things like that. If an invoice is issued, second but, if issued within 14 days of the basic tax point, that then becomes the actual. So we have a basic, which is when people take it away. And 99% of the time that would be it. You go into a store, you buy something, you take it away, that's the tax point. That's the point at which output VAT becomes due. You pay a deposit, that becomes the tax point. Or you take something away and the invoice isn't issued until later, that is the tax point. Okay. Now, output and input VAT, some major points we need to look at. Important exam points. So we're getting into areas now where we could have different exam kind of style questions. So VAT is chargeable on the actual amount received where the discount is offered for prompt payment. We're going to come across one of those in this question here. If a discount is not taken, the VAT is charged on the full sale price, and if the discount is taken, then the VAT is based on the discounted price. We'll look at that in the example number 4. Relief for irrecoverable debts. Client is never going to pay. Okay. Only available if it has been accounted for. In other words, and the output VAT's been paid. So you've actually done it. You've dealt with it. You've put it through as a sale. You've paid the VAT over to HMRC and they've never paid you. The debt is over 6 months old. So that's the rules. Okay. Input VAT cannot be recovered in respect of business entertaining of UK customers or on cars unless they are 100% business purposes, which is not normally the case. And you cannot recover the VAT on private use. So let's put those rules into this example. So Rose Limited is registered for VAT and its sales are standard rated. The following information relates to the VAT quarter 31st of March 23. Standard rated sales of 120,000. Now, they offered their customers a 5% discount. Do you remember the rule about discounts? Okay, for prompt payment. Half of the customers took advantage of that. So we're going to have to split our sales to work out the VAT. Half and half, 60-60. I'm going to explain these as we go along and then I'll show you how it works and I'll write it all out for you. Standard rated purchases, and so that's the output VAT. Up to there. Now this will be the input VAT down here. Standard rated purchases and expenses were 34,640. Includes 480 for entertaining, which we can't have. So we'll have to deduct that before we work out the VAT. 15th of March, we wrote off some irrecoverable debts. 2,000 related to the 12th of May previous year. We can have that. Don't have to do anything to that one. But this one relates to December. It's not more than 6 months. So that will have to be dealt with. I'll show you how that works in a moment. They bought a car and some machinery. Both figures are inclusive of VAT. Dealt with differently. Okay, so we'll show you in the answer. He'll show you how that works when we come to the answer. Both the car is used for business and private, therefore we can't have that. So unless otherwise stated, all the above figures are exclusive. In other words, we have to work out the VAT at 20%. Now that's inclusive, which means it's a different calculation. So calculate the VAT for the quarter. Let's have a look at how that works. So it's the VAT return for the quarter to March 23. Heading, always. Nice, neat, well presented answers, please. You should know by now, I've told you many times in all the chapters that we've dealt with, that the marker of your exam paper has a model answer in front of them. Make sure your answer looks like the one in the model answer. So let's do the output VAT first. Do you remember the sales? Sales of 120. Okay, so we're going to have to split it because half of them took the discount, didn't they? And the other half didn't. So the half that didn't, that's the output VAT. Now, some of them did, they took the 5%, so only 95% of those sales would have been charged at 20% VAT, which means the VAT on those, the output VAT on those was 11,400. Okay, let's have a look at the input VAT. These are in this order because this is how they look on a VAT form. We got some expenses, if you remember. There was 35,640, but 480 related to entertaining, so we have to deduct that because you can't have the input VAT recovered on that at 20%. It's 7,032. Now we had irrecoverable debt that was allowed, which means we can have the VAT back on that we've already paid over to the revenue. And then we bought some machinery which cost us 21,150. Now do you remember the question said that it was inclusive of that? In order to work that out, that is the fraction that we need to use. If we deduct the input VAT from the output VAT, we end up with £12,443 VAT payable. Please label your answer carefully. Now, what is the due date? Okay, we're going to have a look at that later, but that would be the 7th of May 2023. We'll come to that later. Okay, so if you're unsure about this, then go back, read the question again. I've made some notes on it so that you can see those notes, and then have a look at the answer to make sure that you are happy with how that works. Motor expenses. Input VAT can be recovered where fuel is used for private mileage, either by a sole trader or an employee, but output VAT must be accounted for. Output VAT is calculated according to a scale charge based on the CO2 emissions. It will be given to you in the exam. Don't panic. It's a maths thing. Make sure that you check the rate carefully and do the maths accordingly. Okay, so we have a question here. Poppy has provided one of its directors with a company car which is used for both business and private. The company will pay all the running costs of the motor car, including the petrol and repairs, so therefore they can reclaim the VAT on that. Okay. Now it says the relevant quarterly scale charge is £445 for the quarter to March based on the CO2 emissions. So state the treatment of the cost of the petrol and repairs. Okay, let's have a look at example number 5 then. So input VAT can be reclaimed, as we've just stated. Now, the fuel provided for private use, they have to account for the output VAT based on the scale charge. That was the figure given to you, and that is the fraction that you need to use. So the quarterly cost is £74. Multiple choice question again, you can see that coming up as a multiple choice kind of question. So we just reiterate that you can claim the input VAT, but you must account for the output VAT, and the output VAT is using the scale charge. So they can have the cost of the repairs and the petrol, but they must account for output VAT using that, which is given to you in the exam, and that is the output VAT calculation. VAT returns. We've seen this already. I've explained that it's on a quarterly basis. Each return shows the output and the input for the quarter. So the question that we did earlier, question number 4, I think it was, that question we did the output with all the maths, all the workings, show all the workings. It's not about answers, it's about rules and workings. Please show everything. And it looks like that, output less input. You have to file them online now on electronic payment 1 month and 7 days after the end of the VAT period. So go back to example number 4. Just check that out with this information that you have now about when the payment is due. Gives you a further example here. For the quarter ended June, a business has until the 7th of August. So that's 1 month, so that's the end of July, plus 7 days into the next month to file and the return and make the payment online. So it's now tax digital within the UK. There's a lot of software available and you have to keep digital records. Okay. We have an illustration here. For the quarter ended the 31st of March, Buttercup had output VAT of 12,400 and input VAT of 7,100. So that's that minus that. So the VAT return for the quarter ended the 31st of March would be submitted by the 7th of May. And the VAT is the difference between the two. And it is due to be paid on the 7th of May when it is submitted. Again, multiple choice questions shouts out there, doesn't it? If Buttercup had output VAT of 12,400 and input VAT of 7,100 for the quarter ended 31st of March, what is the VAT that they must pay and on what date? You can see that quite clearly is going to be a question. Now, because it's a self-assessed tax, they can make control visits whenever they want. They actually have more powers of entry to do VAT control visits than the police do. Okay. Now, then they could come 24/7. They're unlikely to. They're normally going to give you a call and tell you in advance that they want to come, but they need to come every so often and do a check. Oops, where did it go? There it is. To check the accuracy of the VAT returns and their that you're doing it correctly. Okay. You can submit monthly returns. Okay, but you can't do that if your liability exceeds £2.3 million. Okay, no, sorry. If they succeed that, then they must make monthly payments. I read that wrong, sorry. Okay, so you can make monthly payments if you want to, but you don't have to. If your VAT exceeds 2.3 million in 12 months, then you have to make monthly payments. And there's a reason why. HMRC, they need the tax to keep the country going. Okay, a VAT invoice. If you make a supply to another taxable person, you must issue a VAT invoice within 30 days of the relevant tax point. Now, it must contain certain information. And again, a multiple choice question here. Of these, which one must it have? Pick 2 out of 4. Which one is correct? Those sort of things. So Daffodil only sells goods and at present issues invoice that show 1, the invoice date, and 2, the invoice number, the type of supply, 3, the quantity and description of the goods supplies, 4, Daffodil's name and address, and 5, the name and address of the customer. They do not offer a prompt payment. She wants to know the additional information that it must now show on its sales invoices to be valid for VAT purposes. So obviously these are the pieces of information that are necessary. The VAT registration number, the tax point, which is the date. Remember, it's either an actual one or it's the basic one. The rate of all the VATs, because some could be 20%, some could be 0%. The exclusive, that's before VAT. The total exclusive, and then the amount VAT payable that you've worked out. So all of those various things now need to be included. So that's a really good illustration there to help you with multiple choice questions that would ask what was necessary to put onto an invoice.